In this video, I'm going to do another challenge. This time, I'm going to try and follow a Bob Ross tutorial and do one of his oil paintings. I've never tried oil painting before, so I hope you enjoy this, and let's see how I do.
And let's go up here, and just using our little crisscross strokes, let's just drop in a happy little sky. Just start at the top and work all the way across, just making little X's, and then begin working downward. And your color is mixing with the liquid white continually and automatically. Your sky will get lighter and lighter toward the horizon. And that's one of those little tricks that helps create the illusion of depth in your painting. As things get farther away from you in a landscape, they should get lighter in value. So let the liquid white work, and it'll happen automatically here. Okay. And just sort of blend it all together. There we are. And very lightly, just go across it. It takes out the brush strokes. Isn't that easy? You can get it. So, now once again, we want it to be lighter toward the horizon. So start at the bottom and work upward. And your darker color then will be down here on the base. See there? And then just work upward. And automatically, once again, it'll get lighter in value as it works upward toward the horizon. Okay, and then we'll need some water on the other side. Don't want it left out. I don't know exactly where land's going to be and water's going to be. So we just cover it all with water. And if we want a tree to live here or here, we'll just drop it in. There. Now then, very lightly, just gently go across and bring it all together. Okay, now then we can wash our brush. And we wash our brushes with good old odorless thinner. I never use turpentine when I'm washing brushes. It leaves a residue on your brushes, which is very difficult to get out. Plus it smells bad. Oh, it smells terrible. One drop of turpentine in your house and you'll be working by yourself, I'll tell you, because he'll run everybody in the house out. Okay, titanium white. We'll just use the old 2-inch brush. What the heck? Let's build just a happy little cloud. And one of the easiest ways to make little clouds is just take the corner of the brush and just tap the canvas with it. Just tap the canvas. We just want a little floater that lives up here in the sky. Just has a good time. Just tap. And you can make him as thick or as thin as you want him. Whatever. We'll give him a little friend. See there? All you have to do is just tap. Now if you want your clouds to look more distinct and brighter, make your sky a little darker. And when you're using only white paint, then that son of a gun will jump out at you. If you have a sky that's not very dark and you put white paint against it, then you don't have much contrast, so it won't look too bright. There, now I'm just going to stir these up a little. Just mix them a little bit. Give them a little, this is to me is the way I fluff the cloud up. Just sort of fluff it up. Let a little wind run through it. There. And then very lightly, just barely grazing the canvas. Caress the canvas. Just blend it together. And that's one of the nicest, easiest little ways to make a cloud. Okay. Lives in your world. And push very firmly. And just drop that little rascal in. The only thing you're worried about is a nice outside edge. You don't care what's happening on the inside right now. We will later. But right now, we're just looking for a nice outside edge. As I say, use a lot of pressure here. Push that paint right into the fabric. Now, scrape off all the excess paint. Just get in there and really scrape it off. You're not going to hurt the canvas. There we go. With our large brush, we'll just pull that and then it'll mix with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and automatically it'll get lighter and lighter down toward the base. No pressure. No pressure. There. See there? Just touch and just let it flow right down the side of the mountain. But no pressure. You want it to break like this and have all those little holes and bumps in it. There we go. And up here. See there? It's so easy at times it's hard. There we go. No pressure though. Can't say that enough times. Probably the most common mistake made is applying too much pressure. And this is one of the best ways that there is to learn to use a knife. And if you can make snow break on these mountains, then you can just make a multitude of other things. It's unbelievable what you can do just by learning to let this snow break here. That delicate touch, light touch. I think I've mentioned over and over again when I was teaching Steve, my son, to paint. The only way I could get it across to him was to tell him that I wanted him to pretend that he was a whisper that just floated across the mountain. And then he understood. It worked for him. And he makes some of the most beautiful mountains today you've ever seen. Everything's nice here. Let's have some fun. I'm going to mix up some black, Prussian blue. Shoot, we'll throw some Van Dyke, some crimson in there. A little sap green. Whatever you got. Just mainly dark colors. There, let me clean the knife off. Now let's use our old fan brush today. Let's go in here and load some color right onto the brush. Just load both sides of the brush up. Now then, let's have some fun. Let's just push in. Maybe there's some little background things that live way back in the distance back here. Now then, I'm going to take my knife, a little bit of dark sienna, a little white into it, and get a very small roll of paint on the knife. Okay, now then, let's go up here. Just put the indication here and there of a few little trunks in these trees. Give them some nice trunks so they can stand up strong and tall. There we go. And we can go back to our fan brush. It has the green on it. There. And I just want to put the indication of a few little highlights on these trees. Don't kill all the dark, though. That dark contrast. When we get finished, that's what makes those son of a gun stand out. There, just a little. Evergreens are normally darker than other trees, so leave them that way. I'm going to dip the brush into a small amount of the liquid white and begin applying some color to these things. Pull the brush in one direction. Be right back. Get some sap green here. There we go. Sap green, cad yellow. One direction. Load the bristles full of color. Let's go up here. Now you have to make some decisions. Where do your little bushes live? Just touch and give a little push, just enough to bend the bristles a tiny bit. We'll alternate some of the colors here. I went into a little yellow ochre. Now we can reverse the brush and drop a little of that right in there if you want to. Right in there. Maybe up in here there's a darker green living. There he is. There he is. There he is. See? There's a big, strong bush over here. He's my friend. There. Okay, and another one. But notice how these are going in layers. Those layers, little Indian yellow too, are what create the illusion of depth in you. Maybe there's a large evergreen. Shoo, there is now. There's right there. Just the corner of the brush. I begin working back and forth. Back and forth like so. And let's make a big evergreen tree that lives right here in front of your mountain. Maybe he's got a little crook in him. There, I like trees that are sort of crooked. There. Okay, let's put a tree trunk in that. For that, we'll just use some dark sienna and white. Same thing we used on the other side. There. And since the fan brush already has all that green on it, we can use it to just put in the indication of some highlights. Not too many, not too many. There we go. See, you don't have to paint the whole trunk because you won't see the whole trunk. All right, now, let me find another fan brush here. There's one. I'm going to take some Van Dyke Brown, and let's build the indication of just a tree trunk in here. Zoom. Like so. We can just make out a tree trunk or two in there. And we'll go into my liquid white and into some yellow and some sap green. Pull that brush through, load a lot of color. A lot of color. Get a little more green on it. There we go. A lot of paint. Now then, let's go up here and barely touching. Begin laying in this large tree. Don't let the brush slide. Just push, let the bristles bend a little, and just begin forming your individual shapes here. Don't just hit these at random. Think about all those little happy limbs that live in here. There we go. See, all these things are there. All you have to do is just push them out of your brush. Super. Okay, maybe over here, add a little yellow ochre. Maybe there's a bush that lives right here. Just sort of pick them out. Now, there. Okay, pick up a little more green, a little more green, and right here, this one's more in shadow, so it's darker. There we go. See, he just hides right in there. Layer after layer. There. A little more color on the brush, and reload the brush as necessary. As you use up the paint in it, add some more. Okay, tell you what, maybe there's a big path in there. Take some Van Dyke Brown, and you have to make a big decision here. Where's your path live? Maybe your path lives right there. So we'd lay in a basic shape just using the brown. And we don't know where this path goes. It goes up here and hides behind the bushes somewhere. Just basic shape. And then we'll take some white, a little dark sienna, and let's come back in here. Just let this barely graze. Just, okay. It's just like putting snow on the mountain. It's the same exact technique. A little more of the liquid white. Back into my yellows and greens. Now then, you have to start making decisions. Are these bushes in front of you, evergreen, or behind them? I think they're in front. So let them come right over in front of it. There. Vary your colors and drop them in. Every once in a while, drop in a little yellow ochre, an Indian yellow, a little bright red. There's a sparkler right there. Beautiful little bush. Another little green one, and as many as you want, but work in layers. Remember that these bushes are individuals. Do one at a time. There we go. See, now, let some of these things come up over the path. That'll push the path down into your painting. Don't want that path just to float around. See there? Now then, we can take the knife and just scrape in a few little sticks and twigs here and there. And shoot, you've got a finished painting. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It'll certainly teach you how to use all the equipment and have a lot of fun. From all of us, happy painting, and God bless.